All right, welcome to the Will Make-A-Way Show. Now, let's start with Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey, to me, when he went bald is when he lost his mind, or figured out when he can, I guess, was it think like a man, act like a woman, think like a woman, act like a man, whatever it was. So, once he went bald, he lost his mind. Now, I was a fan of Steve Harvey when he had the Steve Harvey Show. I thought that was a pretty entertaining show. It's a pretty funny show. And when he was on the Apollo, but this had been like maybe the the early 90s, where it was just basically comedy based from Steve Harvey. I think he was on the Kings of Comedy tour too. That's when I enjoyed Steve Harvey. But all this Think Like a Man and all this stuff going on is crazy. I'm definitely not feeling that. Cause now, from my understanding, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, Steve Harvey already had a handful of divorces before he even decided to give advice. Maybe that's how he feel he can give advice, because he done had so many failed relationships. Hey, cutie, thank you for stopping by the show. So, maybe that's what Steve Harvey has going on. All these, divorces, and he figured he can, get these women to believe what he's saying about relationship advice, when he got so many failed relationships under his damn belt. But so right now the rumor is that, let me see if I can get up a story for you guys. The rumor is that Steve Harvey wife cheated on him. Yeah, 3 or 4. I think that might be right. 3 or 4. The rumor is that she cheated on him, and I don't want to see no man have to go through that, with his wife or whatever. But Steve Harvey's a damn fool. If it happened to him, it happened to him, and goody for him. I'm sorry to say. I know people might not like that, but damn it, man. I mean, whether you're a male or a female, I can't imagine if you living with a so-called supposed to be relationship expert, right? You probably can't tell that person nothing in your house to do with your relationship because they're a so-called expert. That's why I think he's fraud. Now let's see what we got going on here. All right. Steve Harvey and his wife, Marjorie Bridges Harvey, are shutting down rumors that there have been any infidelity in their marriage. Well, of course they're gonna, deny that, if they're trying to work it out. Like the story we had the other day on the channel with the officer in the back seat with the girl. Now, his wife still defended him and talking about they working through it, right? Only reason that's out there because it was on film. So this could be a serious situation, but we don't have the alleged cheating on film, right? So we don't know if it's true or not, but we know they're denying it because they don't like the bad publicity that's out there right now. And until I looked into it, I thought Lori Harvey, because I don't keep up with no damn Steve Harvey like that. I thought Lori Harvey was his biological daughter, but I guess it's the daughter of the woman. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, and they just got his name. So I mean, whatever. On Sunday, which whatever Sunday this was, because this was August 28th, so whatever Sunday before that, the 66-year-old spoke to a crowd during a recent event in Atlanta where he made sure to note that he and his wife were both fine. So, like I say, they're denying it. Now, do I think it's true? I don't know if it went as far as maybe some kind of sexual encounter, but I think it might have been some interactions, some talking, some texting. I do think so. So all thing Q say it's not good for his brand. He has made a fortune of convincing us that he knows how to do it. That's what I'm saying. So that in itself would be a catch-22. It would drive her to cheat. Anytime she try to make a decision relationship wise, he gonna say, well, baby, how he talk with his big ass lip. He gonna know what's right. He gonna know which way to steer because he got so many divorces, so many books. So that would drive somebody, whether it's a male or female, on the other end of this so-called relationship expert, to cheat, because I'm tired of you dictating everything we do because you're a so-called relationship expert. Self-proclaim, understand now. Self-proclaim. I guess his wife took to Instagram to directly address the claims, sharing a screenshot of an online guide how to handle being lied about. I mean, come on now. I don't think you really need no guide on how to handle being lied about. Say the line and move on. Which features a quote from the book of Peter. Oh Lord! So look like they're throwing the Bible, and they getting the Bible involved in this. Let me see. What Book of Peter? When they hurled their insults at him, he did not retaliate. When he suffered, he made no threat. Instead, he trusted himself to him. So basically, by saying Peter didn't attack who was, I guess, judging or persecuting him, is basically what she's doing. She's saying she's trying to take the high road, but this is an attack on the people that's saying they got a bad relationship themselves. Basically, she's saying she's going to take the high road, but this is an attack. That's what this is, okay? She's basically saying, y'all know what y'all talking about, you know, get out my face. And let me see if I can view this. One moment. All right. So it look like this is going to be the post right here. This is from Marjorie _ Harvey. Y'all can go follow her on Instagram if you're interested in her material. But this is the alleged cheater. Let's see if we can get a bigger profile on her. Now, I don't know if these are her kids, grandkids. I don't know what's going on. I hear in the Harvey household, which I'm sure that this clown can afford it. It's like a Brady bunch over there. You don't know who belonged to who, what kid came from who, or what relationship. They just all in the house together. And this is them two right here. Like I say, I see this in the media, and I ain't gonna speak on this too much. I ain't gonna keep going, but you know what? Like I said, I used to be a fan of Steve Harvey, but when he went bald, he I don't know where this relationship expert came from out the blue. I don't know what took place in his life to figure he can give this kind of advice and all that. And I guess the comedian thing's going kind of downhill for him. I mean, he's still gonna be silly, have a joke here and there, but as far as just being on the straight comedian thing, that's completely gone. That's completely gone. There's no tours of him just doing comedy stuff. I mean, maybe he's too busy. Got the Steve Harvey I think it's a morning show he had and got kicked off. I think it's just on the web now. And I guess still got Family Feud going. But let's see if we can find some excerpts of this Think Like a Man crap. One moment, guys. Yeah, let's see what we got. What kind of stuff he talking about. We might not be able to see much because, you know, I ain't about to pay for it. I'll tell you that right now. And if you haven't already, please click that like button. But I guess this is his book right here. And this is basically setting people up. That's all it's doing. Well, not people, but, you know, women, I would say. Because let me tell you, most men, when they come to relationships, don't give a damn about what Steve Harvey talking about. They don't. I mean, the women care. And if you judging your life decisions or picking a man off this book, I'm not saying they ain't going to work. Most times it's not going to work. It is not going to work. But this is just the same thing that a preacher does. Because what Steve Harvey has is status, right? And I can't knock a woman for liking a man with status, because a woman want to know that the man she's getting with can do things and take care of things and handle things. I don't knock that, but what they get lost at is seeing sometimes where that status is being used for manipulation to increase the said status. And other men recognize that off top. Just like a man might not recognize when a woman just might be in a little playful or seductive just to get something out of him because he's so lost in, you know, being with that woman for that moment. Other women can see that that woman is just being I don't know what you call it, catty, seductive, or whatever to that man. But other men can see when other men are running game. Now, men understand that men run the game, and that's his business, and that's how he want to handle his business, because game is business. So a man it's not going to stop the other man from running his business if it ain't affecting him. But the women don't understand that this is just bullshit. That's what it is, right? So I believe he made a lot of money off this book. I don't know if it was, greatest hit or whatever it was. But it's trash. Women, if you go out there and yes, act like a lady, but if you go out there thinking like a man, that man is going to recognize that, and that man's going to be like, what in the hell is wrong with you? Because if you got a man, right, that has all these things that, a lot of these women want, you want this 6-figure man, and man to make all this, and the man to make all this money, to drive this car, to have this house. You want him to be a made man when you come to him. That's what y'all asked for, right? But I think the part that's left out with a lot of these so-called dating coaches like this buffoon on the screen right here is that you not gonna come in with a man that's already made and don't really need you for anything. I mean, you can cook for him, but he can do that himself. He can go buy something. You was not gonna come in the picture and run nothing. You're not gonna have leeway on nothing besides what he allows, because he don't need you. Yeah, he wants you and he likes you, and he wants to love you and maybe be with you and marry you, but he's not there for no problems now. Because I mean, I'm not saying you gotta settle, but I'm just saying understand. It's just like if a man deals with a certain type of woman, he's gonna have to understand certain type of things she does. If she loose with it, and like they say, don't save him. If she loose with it and all that kind of stuff, you can't go in there and just think she gonna be loyal. But it's just like if she's a woman on her shit doing what she need to do and all that kind of stuff, is you got to respect that. But I think a lot of guys understand that. But and these type of dudes that Steve Harvey's probably talking about in his books, unfortunately, they're not a dime a dozen. Men are not falling out the sky. I mean, you can like Steve Harvey is successful man because of his comedy career and Steve Harvey show, and he was in a couple of movies, and he got Family Feud, so his money ain't gonna stop. He got money. Ain't no denying that. But because Steve Harvey has the money he has, it covers up the fact that he's just a Pookie and Ray Ray. Got all these kids and all these women out here that he had kids with, ain't none of them working. And now he got this other woman cheating on him. Steve Harvey is a damn Pookie and Ray Ray. Come on, man. He just got the money so he can mask it up, just like Future. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm a Future fan of his music, but he's a Pookie and Ray Ray. And Steve Harvey is 1-2. Stop it. Just stop it. I mean, look at this. Look like a fake pastor behind a pulpit, and come and buy this book, ladies. And you know what? Because I guess marketing, I can't knock him for that, because men don't really give a damn about relationship advice from another man. Sometimes they do. I mean, you got the stuff on Facebook about this manosphere. Don't mess with this type of woman. Don't do that, and watch out for this pitfall. So some men listen to that, but all this lovey-dovey stuff and how to fall in love, men don't really care about that. Because when it comes to a relationship, whether this man is a poor man, a rich man, middle-class man, he wants to do it his way. He don't give a damn about what the other man's saying about relationship advice. So stuff like this, I'm not trying to sound sexist. It has to be sold to women. And Steve Harvey knows that. He knows, women gonna suck this stuff up. You got this picket fence idea in your head, and you want to know how to get this ring and want to know how to be happily forever after. And I don't like a woman for wanting happiness, but that's something that can be preyed upon, and that's dangerous. That's real dangerous. And this is what this fella condones. Act like a lady, think like a man. And that's exactly what his so-called 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th wife did when she seen that other man that she wanted to talk to. She thought like a man and said, I'm going to get some of that. Bump you. I don't care how much money you got. You're getting on my nerves. And that's what that was. All right. So like I said, this ain't going to be a long one here. I just wanted to know how I feel about Steve Harvey. And to be honest with you, all this stuff is going on. You got phone calls and all this other stuff talking about. I don't even care about none of that because Steve Harvey is nothing. I mean, he's something within himself and what he's doing. But I'm talking about far to me, I don't pay this man no damn attention. You know, we'll do one thing. I guess we'll see if he got an Instagram, and maybe we can roam it and just to see some of the foolishness. And I mean, and from what I'm hearing, his own daughter's coming out, and, you know, and saying this stuff is happening. So, I mean, is that true? Well, I guess adopted daughter. Now, no, let me see what it is. OG Kingston. See, this is probably a reunion because I heard some drama back in the day that Steve Harvey is kind of like one way on the stage, all friendly with these guys on this King of the Comedy tour, but backstage he was a damn demon. I heard he wasn't respecting nobody, thinking he was the high and mighty because, you know, he was, you know, had the steady TV show at the time. He was on Apollo. So before he had that Kings of Comedy tour thing going on with them fellas, he already had some stuff going on. Might have been a little more at the time than some of them other fellas. I say besides Bernie Mac. Because I would put Bernie Mac above Steve Harvey when they came to comedy and acting. But I never seen, but we don't know what Bernie Mac could have been nowadays. And, you know, and that's a sad case. But I don't think he would have went down this road that Steve is going. You know, I know everything about a woman. And the woman, I can tell you how to treat a man and know what to do. I don't think he would have went down that road. But, I don't know. I guess this is from his new show, which I don't know nothing about. And I'm not trying to find nothing about. And see, this is one thing that goes on in our community. Just because somebody, look, I don't knock nobody for being successful. Right? But one thing we do in our community, I guess because we so used to being broke, right? When somebody make a lot of money, they hold them up into some kind of high status just because they got money until you hear something that goes wrong. Don't get me wrong. It's good to have money, be successful and all that. But just because somebody gets a bunch of money don't mean they be put on some pedestal like they God. They just somebody with some money, okay? They just can buy more stuff. That's all. Buy more stuff. They can have more money than people in the White House, and people in the White House still will shut them down, tell them what they can and cannot do, and you still got to pay taxes. So that's all they can do is buy stuff. And there's nothing wrong with buying stuff, but just understand that's all these people can do other than you, buy stuff. So, I mean, you try your best to do what you got to do so you can buy you some stuff too. But just understand that's all they're doing is buying stuff. All right. So, I think I'm done with with Steve Harvey, the fool Steve Harvey. We gonna go into Brother Polight now. Now, let me pull up his case. Bear with me, guys. Now, it's not a whole lot besides on social media. People talking about Brother Polight, but it's not a whole lot far as major news outlets covering Brother Polight, because besides a social media influencer, YouTuber, or whatever, he ain't really doing nothing besides just being a social media brother on Polight, going on the side of the TV arguing about, you know, where black people came from, ancient Kemet, Egypt, and all. Just a whole bunch of crap. Right? So, it's not going to be a whole ton of stories on this Polight fella. That's going to be like, you know, ABC, CBS, CNN. I mean, you can find way more on Steve Harvey. You can't figure out who this is. This was a man back in the day that okay, if you, that's what I'm saying. This is he's in a niche community, right? This Pan-Africanism, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong if you look at this, Pan-Africanism and just a whole bunch of stuff. He was a crook too, but not as big as Steve Harvey. He didn't get there yet. Telling people how to live their lives, how to eat and fast and to drink water and all this kind of stuff like that. As a matter of fact, let's see if we can pull up some stuff about Polight. Deuce, are you there? Can you hear me? Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Deuce, we can't hear you. You might be on mute or something. But see, this is the type of people that come up here with this Steve Harvey vibe. Get your mic right, man. Come on, man. God dog. So you on mute. You on mute if you can hear me. Let me see if I can take you off mute. Nope, it says you on mute. But Brother Polight, I gotta see if I can find some videos, but he's another crook. Q, you ever heard of Umar Johnson? He's like a Umar Johnson type, except real with this African stuff. Kitty, are you there? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead. What you got? You go ahead and stop me where I'm at if you got anything to add.
Nothing yet. I'm still listening to you. Start it off and kick it off with the. I guess you're gonna go into who he is. Well, you already told me who he is, but I'm listening to what you're saying.
Okay. Now, before I get too deep into Polight, you got anything you want to circle back on the Steve Harvey thing? Because I basically just giving my opinion on Steve Harvey and how I feel about him. So it might have been kind of biased.
I sat that one out. Yeah, that's why I didn't hop up when you was talking about him. I really don't have anything to say, but I'll say my piece when we get to the Shirley Strawberry stuff. But I don't really have much to say about Steve.
Okay, so let me drop this down. Let me drop this down real quick, and we'll pull up a Brother Polight video. What if you had to say, Deuce, what was Brother Polight's goal in the game? What was he trying to do?
He's a Hebrew Israelite.
You sure?
He's another Dr. Umar Johnson.
I was saying, yeah, he's like a Umar Johnson.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But before he was actually a little bit. They all kind of came in the game at the same time, but he was a little bit before Umar Johnson. Like they was all on the Pan-Africanism, bring all blacks together. We need to start our own revolution and all this bunch of bull crap.
Yeah, and he got one. He made up to the Breakfast Club. He did. One moment, let's see if I can get that going on for you guys. Brother idiot Polight.
But he was a scammer. That's what he was.
Yeah, he was a scammer, and it came out focus. He had like multiple women that was so-called living with, but he was actually using the women for to get stuff, using their names and social securities and stuff. Wasn't doing all
wow.
He believed in polygamy. He did polygamy, so he had multiple wives. I don't know if that was legal, but kind of cult multiple wives type of thing going on. And kind of found out one of the women he was dealing with, he ended up raping the daughter.
Yeah, and I believe that he went ahead and pled guilty because he wasn't found guilty. He pled guilty. I believe if he went to court, he would have got some serious time. And I guess whoever his lawyer was probably advised him, look, you got to take this deal because if you go to court and get with this, you probably could be 20, 25.
Yeah, he got a 7-year sentence. He got a 7-year prison sentence with a 10-year probation and $25,000 restitution.
Yeah, he done it. I mean, I guess we can see what he's talking about, as much as I can play.
Because another thing we have to do, we have to pool our funds and see to it that we help people in their endeavor to campaign. Because when you don't help people get into office and then you lobby for their attention when something happens, their first obligation is to serve the people that got them into office. So we're not helping people go through school.
See, and Brother Polight, I don't know how he even got to this level, to be honest with you, besides just doing a bunch of talking in social media. I guess in the early part of social media, when YouTube was popular and all this stuff, so he was on the internet wave kind of early, and I guess he just spread because, far as I know, he ain't got no kind of special degrees or no kind of. I don't even know how he got up to this point. Besides just,
but do any of them?
besides just talking on social media a bunch.
It's called a gift of gab. He got
That's
a mouthpiece.
That's
He
it.
got a mouthpiece. Yeah.
Just like the rest of them.
Yeah. Now, Umar Johnson so-called got a degree, right?
Yeah. Allegedly.
So-called. Yeah, allegedly.
Because it's insured, the debts, they can actually insure your mortgage debt by way of what's called the mortgage-backed security, which is funded by people that's incarcerated. Mm-hmm. So it's easier for me to give you a loan if I know that the loan is insured. So with the subprime crisis, what they'll do.
You see, he got a brother standing behind him. So he was on this Umar Johnson mixed with Farrakhan type of thing, all these women, security and all this stuff. A bunch of crap.
Now, one thing I can say about Umar Johnson compared to Polight is Umar Johnson did graduate. And he has a degree in osteopathic medicine and psychology, clinical psychology. So he actually has degrees. That's one thing I can say about Umar. He actually has
right.
He can back up what he's talking about a little bit.
So you think that school gonna happen that he talking about?
Man, hell no. Hell no.
Yeah.
Bunch of tomfoolery. That's what it is.
He's been getting donations for a long time though.
Oh yeah. Dr. Umar, don't get it. I mean, Polight he's been getting money. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah, social media, yeah,
social media,
contributors and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But he's been scamming.
Been scamming, man. People been fooling people, man.
I remember it was a video that he had out. It's probably hard to find now if I go and look real deep. That he had on YouTube, going in a grocery store and telling black people what they should and should not be buying.
That's crazy. But we go to Egypt. Like I went to Egypt and I went to the world's first hospital, Temple Philae, and you see all over the walls the women squat and do not go against gravity. But they were the ones that's considered to be incompetent. But today in contemporary science, we got women still laying down. And even the placenta, because
what is this nigga talking about, man?
I mean, that's true. That's true.
You know something about that, Cutie?
Yeah, I do. I think it would go back to slavery or, back in the, way back when women used to give birth, they used to do it in a squatting position because you're going with gravity. So technically that position is better for our bodies and the baby. But Western, I guess is the way we do it now. We lay in a bed in a hospital, on our backs, but we're pushing the baby out. So yeah, I mean, I've heard that before.
I've heard that too before. Now that you mention it that way,
yeah,
a little bit more simpler than this overcomplicated Negro.
Well, yeah, he got to overcomplicate it to make us feel like he knows more than we do. He can't say it the way I just said it because that wouldn't get him on this show.
Right, he doing the Michael Eric Dyson.
Correct.
Let me see.
Another fraud.
I mean, just look at him right here. That's right when he got that 7 years. That's the look he had on his face. Right there, guys. Y'all see that?
I see it. I mean, I remember when he went on when he was first accused. I didn't know who he was until he was accused of this, and he went on this whole tour, confessing about how he didn't do anything, and these charges were going to be dropped, and the girl was lying. They had ulterior motives, like it was all of this stuff for him to go into court and plead guilty. He said it was nothing. A man in his position with the type of support that he has and the money that he has, this is not, as you call him, Pookie and Ray Ray, who can't afford a lawyer. He got a public defender who don't want to put in the time for his case and just tell him to plead guilty so he can move on. This man has the resources. In my opinion, if he pled guilty, it's because he's guilty.
That's what I'm saying. And whoever lawyer he had probably told him, look, man, you even though you can defend this and go to trial, it just... I don't see no way out for you, so you got to, because whatever they had against him, and the fact that he pled guilty, which means I don't know, it might not even come out because there ain't gonna be no trial like that, but it's something. I
think the evidence against him was probably, they probably had a lot of evidence against him, which I'm curious to know what that evidence was, but they probably were very confident that they were going to prove his guilt in court because there is no other way he didn't even plead an Alford plea. I mean, he went straight guilty. Yeah. Even with an Alford plea, you're saying, yeah, I'm saying I'm innocent, but based on the evidence that they have against me, I'm going to take an Alford plea. He didn't even do that.
Right. It had to be some damning evidence.
It's some, yeah.
If I'm just going to take
And I mean, something like that is not easy to prove if you think about it. Like, this, he supposedly assaulted the girlfriend's daughter. That's not something that's easy to prove. Like, there has to be, you know what I mean? It's a lot of people who say they were assaulted or M word, things like that. But those things are hard to prove. So I'm just curious to know what evidence did they have against this man that he came to court and pled guilty with all the resource and accesses that he had.
Mm-hmm. That's a good question. Now, Deuce, you with us?
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see the screen. Do you think that hat is fashionable? Would you rock that hat?
Hell no. Let me present my screen.
It's like 2016. Y'all probably had that same hat back then.
Yeah, and the irony that he got one of those old school white and black checkered gel color jackets on fit him just right in 2023. Just right.
Let's check them out.
All right, no vulgarity.
Now let's look at this coon. Look at this coon, man. This is what he was doing with your consciousness money.
Yeah, with the donations.
Interesting. Yeah, oh wow.
That way. This is what was going on right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was living his best life. Living his best life.
Oh yeah. Wow.
I mean it's typical crook, off the black community, unfortunately.
Got the red bottom showing. Oh yeah. He made some money, got some notoriety, and then his true self came out. Who he really was came out.
Right, and the trouble he's in because one of these wives' daughter or something like that.
Now them ladies in these pictures that we looking at right now, them do not look like wives.
No.
Well, he got caught in something back in some big social media thing. When I don't know, he was in the pictures with some white girl, right? In the black community, well, the conscious community is like, what is he doing? Did something like that happen? He was hooked up with some white women, which ain't nothing wrong with being hooked up with white women, but the kind of stuff he preached. If you looked at like this Breakfast Club thing is pretty, it's for the radio, so he's not going in as he used to go in on his own personal social media, talking about white people and all kind of stuff like that. But yeah, that brother Polight. I guess he gonna get 3 hots in the cot. I'm thinking that's what he looking at.
Yeah, he like I said, he got for what I understand, he got 7 years of prison.
Mm-hmm.
Is he gonna have to register?
Yeah.
No,
that was actually part of his deal.
That's part of his deal?
No, the woman that accusing him, the daughter, she actually decided not to have him on the register list because of this deal.
You think there's some money? Think some money in that deal for her too?
Absolutely.
Yeah, she got $25,000 registered. $5,000 a month. And he gonna serve 7 years, and he gonna get 10 years probation, and he can't be around children.
So I mean so he's not listed as an offender, but that's like a stipulations of an offender though.
Yeah, I mean he basically got everything except that. I mean
that's the part that matters. That's the part that protects other children being on that registry. I mean the stipulations can be put in place, but if you ain't on a registry. I mean, is that really the same? Because being on that registry, that's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt his life.
We need to limit where he can move to.
Exactly.
He can't be around children without supervision, without the mother, father, or whatever. So,
but see, if he's on the registry though, some stuff would get cut off at the head.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So all this supervision stuff is crap because nobody's around him. I guess police or whoever, official not around him. Who's checking that all the time?
And nobody checking it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Guy. Oh, here goes some more scammers right here. All 4 of these guys.
Well, yeah. Yeah, we know we know they've been scamming.
He done already lost his damn mind.
Yeah, I say Young Pharaoh didn't do nothing illegal that we know of yet, but yeah, he lost his mind. he started that's kind of sad bar. He got a new YouTube channel. He plays music stuff of it, but it's dead now. He ain't like, I guess his core supporters is on there, but nothing like it used to be.
Yeah, he was running up on YouTube.
Oh, my fault. Yeah, he was, but I think YouTube did a good thing by striking him down because he was getting too big for his britches.
Come on, man.
He was, man. He wasn't. That stuff he was talking wasn't helping nobody. Just on YouTube complaining. At least Brother Polight, he's a scammer, but I guess he did maybe say some good things like drink more water or something like that.
Yeah, put your feet in the dirt and gaze at the sun.
Yeah, exercise and something like that. Yeah. So I pretty much, before y'all two came on, because Brother Polight is basically, I guess, an open and shut case. If y'all got some more on Brother Polight, we can go deeper into Brother Polight. But before y'all came on, I kind of gave my personal opinions about Steve Harvey. Now, did anybody want to add anything about Steve Harvey? And we can go into Steve Harvey.
A bojangling, buck dancing simp.
Now, I forgot what I was about to say.
How you gonna
tell me didn't support those claims?
How you gonna tell me about thinking like a man and acting like a woman, but you done been in 3 marriages? He's mentoring and guiding women on how to
be single with a dog for the rest of their life.
Yeah, I mean, or how to regulate their relationships with men. But his social life. Look at his daughter.
Well, I was doing some research on this case. Am I wrong or right? You guys know that's not his biological daughter. That's just adopted daughter.
Yeah, that was a whole almost grown woman when he married Marjorie. She changed her last name after he married her mother, but she was old enough, I think, to do it herself. She was not a child, so I think she was going off to college maybe when he married Marjorie. So yeah, that's not his child. She just changed her last name. I would too if Steve Harvey was married to my mom. I mean, I'm pretty sure that last name brings her everything that we're witnessing her have right now.
Right. And from what I'm hearing, my research now, this Marjorie woman was dealing with some not so desirable people that Steve Harvey even preaches against in his own books, and came back and saved her.
She was married to, I think, or they were in a long-term relationship with a big-time drug kingpin.
Right.
And he ended up going to prison. So, yeah.
Right. So, Steve, like I say, now, I was cool with Steve until he went bald. Y'all remember the Steve Harvey show? Come on, man.
It was corny.
I mean, it was corny, but it had its moments. Said and Levita Jenkins.
I used to like the Steve Harvey show.
Huh? You like that show too? You like that show?
I used to love that show, man.
Yeah, that show was pretty good. You had Romeo Bullethead.
Yeah, that was a good show, man. Like you got to think of the times.
Yeah, for the 90s, yeah. Yeah, I mean, the show, it was pretty funny to me. Now, I had its corny moments.
Share my screen when you get done. Go ahead.
Okay. And then when he was on the Apollo, I thought he was all right. But then this transition happened, Cutie. I don't know what the hell happened, where he just knew everything about relationships all of a sudden.
Steve Harvey went as far as he can go with the community that brought him to where he was. That's when he stopped cussing in his comedy shows. Once he stopped cussing and stopped catering to us was when he was able to get on those platforms like Family Feud and the Steve Harvey Morning Show. That's why we don't see, the same thing for D.L. Hughley or the other one. Right, Cedric, right. And I don't think Bernie Mac was the greatest of the kings, but of course we're going to say that now because he's passed, but I think he was the greatest of the kings, but I think Bernie Mac would have had to do one or two things. He would have had to either transition like Steve Harvey, made himself more commercial, or he would be where Cedric the Entertainer and D.L. Hughley is right now. So Steve Harvey just made that transition and it worked out for him because he's a quote unquote mogul now.
Yeah, and that you bring up Bernie Mac now. If I had to compare the two shows, even though Bernie Mac show was later, the Bernie Mac show was better than the Steve Harvey show. If I had to say that, it was better. And D.L. Hughley, I never liked him as a comedian, and I don't think he wasn't no original Kings of Comedy. He wasn't on that tour. Well, it was just Sid, Steve, Bernie,
and DL.
Oh, DL was on there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I didn't like DL Hughley from the comedy view days. I don't know if your parents used to let you watch that.
I remember the comic view, yeah.
Yeah, because his whole thing was just attack people in the audience. I did, if you're gonna be a comedian, come out there and comedian. Don't come in and start attacking people sitting on the front row. I paid tickets to enjoy a show, not to be attacked.
I can't stand DL Hughley. I can't stand. I can't stand that dude, man. I do not like him. I don't like his comedy. And you're right. Even all the way back to comic view days, I saw all he did was talk crap about the people that was in the crowd. That was his stick.
That was his stick. Yeah, attack the people in the crowd. So I didn't like that. I mean, that's just like going to school in second grade and talking about Joe Blow. But anyways, back to Steve Harvey. Now, do y'all think his wife really stepped out on him? No, was she doing something?
I do.
Absolutely, I believe it. And I think it's quite convenient that this Shirley Strawberry stuff is coming up, and now we're not talking about Marjorie Harvey and the pool boy anymore. Everything that's going on with Shirley Strawberry that's what everybody's talking about right now. And I find that quite interesting.
Oh, yeah, I got a pin in there. I'm going to ask you about that Shirley Strawberry thing. But I believe she probably stepped out because I don't know if Steve Harvey he probably was a crook, so he probably didn't really live a life like he's talking about in that book. But if somebody did, so-called live what they talk about like that.
I mean, but nobody lives that shit. They all lying.
Yeah, because that person would be a pain to be in a relationship with. If you so-called, if you didn't know it all about relationships.
Exactly.
You would get on my nerves quick. I don't know. Maybe Deuce can handle something like that. Maybe he could be with a woman that knows everything about relationships and tell him, what time to get up and go to sleep.
I can't. No. He said you supposed to. Now, I don't know. He says one of his things is take care of your woman shouldn't spend no money. She shouldn't have to spend no money on a man. You should be able to take care of everything you need to take care of as a man. And I partially agree with him on that. Like if you're in a certain situation or a relationship or marriage or whatever, yes, the man should be able to handle things on a certain level. Yes, I agree with that. But he just threw the cat out the bag. Yeah, it's just
like I say, he knows what they want to hear, even though it could be far fetched.
He's into worship. I ain't into that worship now. I'm not worshiping. No, a woman does her part and the man does his part, and you work together. That's how I look at it. But that's just me.
Right. So, Cutie, can you give us some insight into this Shirley Strawberry person?
So Shirley Strawberry is one of his co-hosts, as we know, on the Steve Harvey Morning Show. And she has her little segment where she does the Strawberry Letter every day. I stopped listening to that show years ago. I'm more than likely going to tune in tomorrow, though, because she's supposed to be her own Strawberry Letter. It's supposed to be about her and her situation. Okay, so Shirley's husband. And I remember when Shirley was engaged to this man, I remember she was talking about him very much often on the show. Steve was, hyping up their relationship. And her whole thing was, and this was around the time when Steve was coming up with his books and stuff. Her whole thing was, her and Ernesto or Ernest, whatever his name is, they were not having sex before marriage. They were highly religious Christian Bible thumping couple who did everything the right way, and it was going to work out. Well, now Ernest is in jail, and it's, from what I understand, is he had done something inappropriate with Shirley Strawberry's grandchild and her daughter, All I know is he can't be around the grandchild, he can't be around the daughter, and he cannot be around animals. I don't know what the
God
animals.
dog.
Maybe y'all know what's up with that, but he can't be around animals. So he's in jail. Well, it came out that he had a side chick and he was doing scamming. I think he initially was in jail for scamming or something, like he wasn't paying rent on a house that was like a few doors down from Shirley's house. I don't know. But he's in jail now, and these phone calls have been released, which I think is so coincidence. It's a big coincidence, being as how we're not talking about Marjorie anymore. So I'm wondering what Camp has something to do with getting, bringing the attention to these tapes that have been released. But yeah, the jail calls between Shirley Strawberry and Ernest were released, and now the jail calls between him and his side piece have been released.
Mm.
So are these calls implementing Steve or his wife and anything?
So the only thing that I call, and they are so boring, and the way my attention span is set up, I just can't sit through boring stuff just because. But from what I understand, the only thing Shirley has said about Steve was that Marjorie looks at Shirley like the help, and that Steve is intimidated or scared of Marjorie or something, is what I from as far as that's concerned. But between her and Ernest, I've noticed the phone calls are very much about the case, and Shirley is standing beside him even though he's accused. I mean, because you don't even have, I don't need any proof if you're talking about my child and my grandchild. I don't need any proof. The accusation alone, we're done. So she's standing beside him, and everything they talk about, the lawyer's on top of it, and you pray to God, and we're gonna put this behind us, and it's him saying, I miss you, I love you, I can't wait to come home to my family, I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on. It's none of that. It's all business when he speaks to her. But when he get on the phone with the side chick, he's talking about how wet her monkey is, and he can't wait to get home to that thing, and he missed her. Like, this is, and Shirley is standing beside this man with these accusations, and he found the time to sit on the phone and talk about his side piece coochie.
Now, this call when he's talking about the side piece coochie is while he's in jail.
It's multiple calls. There are multiple calls. Yes, while he's in jail. These are jail calls.
Well, cause sometimes these guys get in jail and they'll say anything. But
look at those. That's what you're gonna be thinking about, Will, if you being charged with this. That's what you're thinking about.
Well, you're right about that. You be thinking about clearing your name. From these accusations, especially if that's the woman you love, grandkids or whatever.
And you need Shirley. Shirley got access to money. Shirley got connections. And you still go and incriminate yourself and get on the phone. You can't wait till you get out of jail to go back to your side piece. You don't think these calls were going to come up?
Yeah. Maybe Shirley ain't laying it down like this other side piece. I'm sorry to say that, but I don't know. And now that you mentioned it, I do remember the Strawberry Letter. Now it's been so long since I listened to a Steve Harvey radio. You talking about the radio, the show on the radio?
Yes.
Yeah, I was thinking about the one that used to come on TV.
They used to come on TV too. I remember that.
Yeah, and it'd be like love letters she would read, or somebody trying to get their man back or their woman back. So yeah, right. I don't think I heard that since college. That'd be early 2000s.
Yep, they still doing it.
Yep. So and Deuce, I didn't forget about your screen share, but I guess we'll see what's going on. And this is and this is the fella right here, right? That's on the screen.
Him. Yep.
And that's her gazing at him to get out, of jail. And this is the phone they're using. So let's see if we can hear some of this.
So who hooked up this relationship?
I'm wondering this, Steve. I don't know. I don't know how Steve they came to be.
I bet Steve did, but go ahead. Play. Go ahead.
Yeah, Steve probably told a thing like a man.
Now, they've been together for a very long time. I think they got maybe 13, 10, like it's double-digit years together. This ain't no new husband.
Okay.
Yeah, they've been together for a while. Maybe not 13. I don't know, but it's some years.
Right.
Oh, this case shit, none of that. I'm done with that shit. I can't even really talk, to be honest with you. But anyway, so I can't live in Fulton County, so I'll be probably going to call, or I got to give them an address when I leave here, so that's not a problem. And, that, and I got to have a...
Well, one more thing, Cutie. Why is these calls out? Did she get mad and put it out? How is it on the internet now?
Jail calls can be subpoenaed for public. You can look on YouTube and find jail calls for anybody. This is just like it's not privileged. It's not a conversation between him and his lawyers. These calls can be made public, just like like you can write into and request body cam footage, and you can request all types of stuff now.
I got you.
Okay. So how long do you know?
Oh, I don't know. Whenever it's over with. Yeah, I got to sit here and process all this right now. That was so fast and a lot. I just took all that in so fast.
Well, hold on a minute. Let's thank God that you got a bond. Thank you, Lord.
Yes, thank you, Lord. Lord, thank you.
Yes, thank you, Lord.
It's coming off soon. You're coming out soon.
And I'm coming out soon.
But when will you know about the bond?
I got 2 cases was indicted, so that means that they say they saw probable cause, so I have to go to court on that on the 23rd.
So I see, and shout out to whoever made this video, October 2022. So how long, I guess, when is he expected to be released, or how long did he get sentenced?
He didn't get bond, even though he's telling her he's gonna get bond and all this. He never got. He wasn't denied. They say he's the danger, so it's not safe for him to be out. Now again, This ain't Pookie and Ray Ray. This is not somebody who he has access to things that us regular people do not have access to, and they said that about him. And you see, his wife is standing beside him.
Yeah.
But when we're done with this call, I would like for you to try to find a call between him and his mistress, because I want y'all to listen to the difference in the conversation. You see what he's talking about with Shirley and what he will be talking about with the mistress.
Well, let's get to the mistress. That sounds like more juicy. This is more about let's pray for a bond, hope you get home and stuff.
Yeah, that's the wife. That's the one holding them down.
So, let me see. Would that be the one you sent me earlier?
I don't know. That's not the one I sent you earlier. The one I sent you earlier was a conversation between him and Shirley, and then Shirley called his son on 3-way, I think. And then he was having a conversation with the side chick, but it's not the nasty one. It was another one. And I'll see, can I find it? But this side chick, I don't know if it's 2 separate ones, but this one knows the son, and I'm under the impression that she has conversations with the son. So Shirley, I guess, is responsible for, making sure the justice gets served. And everybody else is for the good time. Not only that, but he's ruining. She's ruining herself for this.
Yeah.
For me, you ain't even being faithful to her.
So I mean, is she still on the show right now on the actual Steve Harvey?
Yes.
Well, let's see. His name is Ernesto.
I don't even think he like women. I mean, if we're going to keep it gangsta, I don't.
I mean, well, he's in a place now to be really swayed towards men, if that's what he like.
I'm good. Good being normal. As long as I have money to move, I'm okay with living normal. I just don't want to be broke. But I don't live flamboyant and fancy. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I don't either. I mean, I'm trying to figure out how.
But no, you ain't, nigga.
Really?
Yeah, really. I mean, for real. What is so fancy? I don't even live. I really don't.
You really don't?
Hell no.
Now, Kitty, you already reviewed this audio call?
Don't ask me for the timestamps. I don't know if it's closer to the beginning or closer to the end when he was talking about her monkey.
Oh, okay.
Yes, though.
I'm telling you the truth. It ain't nothing, man. Motherfucker got way more than I got going on out here.
Well, everybody, you can always find somebody to outdo the next person. That's true. I'm saying to you, though, I don't see you because how you the conversation we had when you got out and then you just climbed to this is what you wanted to do. You wanted to be at this level of out here or whatever.
Let's see if we can.
That's it. That's all I'm on. That's all I've been on. I just like what I like. That's all. I don't like what everybody else want me to like, because that shit don't get my approval. It don't get nobody. They scary of that, so no, I'm good. Everybody can.
Your dream was NASCAR. I don't think that's changed.
No, it's not. It's not gonna change, because that's the only way.
Okay then.
Yeah, but then what they got to do with it?
That's expensive.
No, I done seen. You ever seen a maid clean up a motherfucking house and a nigga divorced the wife and married a maid? Really like the maid? Oh, okay. It didn't cost a fucking maid nothing.
Right.
All right then. So I'm the maid getting in NASCAR. Just put it like that.
You the maid getting in NASCAR. You
all right. That's what I'm trying to say. So guess what? It's up to me to figure it out.
Your goal is NASCAR. You know what my goal is? My end game is the RV park and my.
Is the what? What'd you say?
The RV park.
And then opening up another restaurant.
Yeah.
I just want to be financially comfortable. I'm not really into being fancy.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I ain't trying to be that either. That's not what I'm on. I'm on get what I like, do what I like, and be cool. I don't try to.
Nigga, you in jail.
That's over with for me.
But you see how different the conversations are? This is talking about future plans and building and, our goals. And Shirley is thank you, Jesus, and law.
All the men in the world. She want a Negro that's in jail.
Right. Well, it ain't no regular. This Shirley Strawberry husband. I mean, it's a side chick dream right there. It's a side chick dream.
Yeah, and they actually got a TV program where people hunt people that's in jail to date.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is Love and Lockup or something like that. But this is a fad now, okay?
But I mean, they were together before all this stuff. I mean, he was cheating on her before all this. So I'm assuming he's had a relationship. This is not somebody who came into his life when he went to jail.
Okay.
Have you ever seen
that is true. You will be looking like a bum when I see you.
You're damn right. Rich folks I know looking like bums. They got all the money. Shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right. I don't dress all like that.
I mean, you have it to put on, but right.
I ain't got to though.
Right, you're not trying to every day it like I have to.
Let me see if I can get to the juicy part.
And I can be in my RV. I'll be just as happy as a camper. But that ain't the case that I really, really kind of realized since I've been locked up. Your ass got to have some ties to the motherfucking damn city, or you gonna stay fucking locked up. That's one thing I definitely will save my ass throughout my adult years. Having ties to the motherfucking city, or you fucked.
Right.
This nigga's locked up and can't get out with $200 bonus. Straight the fuck up.
Right.
Damn near a year because they can't come up with $200.
But they're not going to be tired if they can't come up with $200. That's just the thing of it all.
Well, I mean, ain't he on the phone with somebody that could have come up with $200?
I think he's talking about the other people who in jail, like saying they in jail because they can't come up. I know he can come up with. Shirley would have paid that $200 so fast. I think he's talking about other people.
Okay, I got you.
Anybody that's
that makes
tied to
sense.
the city, that's money involved. Because what I'm dealing with now, like the mayor, vice mayor, he wants 10,000. Well, I'm just saying, when you deal with people of influence that can help you, you need money.
Yeah, but I know that, but that's not what I'm talking about. Stability. That means that you've been in the city.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about.
I told you this stuff was so boring. I couldn't take it.
Yeah.
You smart, so don't give up on that little shit now. And I said little shit because it's little shit get you.
Well, let me go near to the end because I would think now when you know your time about to come up on the phone in jail, when you on the phone with a woman, you trying to get in all your little sexual jabs before that phone hang up.
Yeah.
Body. So this is
okay. I think I went too far. Somebody else commentary.
She got sentenced because she thought she was going home. When I didn't understand that because her plea was wait on this. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, nah, I did it. $100,000 to made that work. I wasn't about to be no $1 million, $2 million, $3 million. Like, I would never do that. Like, I didn't do any of it, but I was just like, yeah, I would stop at $100,000. Flip that, and you know what I'm saying? I made that work for me, but not so straight. Like I was like, how was you cashing those checks? Because he got $1 million, so apparently she had to cash $1 million.
Damn.
Yeah.
There's a chance you got to do half of it. How old she be? About 60 when she get out?
she's
Okay.
sick. Cause she had a prior or something, but it wasn't tax, like, her case was taxed.
Well, Kitty, I got your drift. I'm thinking about to probably search that myself and see what's going on. Where's the part? And they're talking about that, and I could bring that up. But yeah, this is now did this lady? Let me pull a picture back up. Right here, kissing on the man. She wasn't aware of the side chick until he got arrested. And his call come out. Do you know that?
I think so. I think that's when we all found out he was cheating, because he was arrested with a side chick for scamming or something like that. They were scamming something. And then that's when, I guess, you go down that rabbit hole. And I'm over here looking now. I'm trying to find the clip from the Shade Room. So that's what I'm trying to do. And I'll send it to you if I find it.
Okay. Now, Deuce, you still there? If he is, you on mute.
I'm still here.
All right, now you have something you want to present here. Are you ready to present what you had?
I was just kind of listening in, but I still got it up to present. His daughter. This dude is just a crook. I can't. I just feel bad for all the people that's following this man advice, and you don't even have your own relationship together, man.
Yeah,
you're your third marriage. Your daughter,
Steve Harvey.
You done been married 3 times, bro.
Yeah.
You can go back to regular screen. I wouldn't track him. But go ahead. Go
yeah, like I say, I believe it's a handful of men, but it's a lot of women, because
his wife that he was with a big time drug dealer.
Yeah, and like I say, when I was doing some research preparing to get on here, it was saying that they ran into each other years ago, but he wasn't who he is now.
He had no money. He was broke.
Yeah,
compared to what he is now.
I would say how, I guess he loved her that much, would come back to that and give her a chance and do that. But at the same time, by that time, he done had a gang of kids too. So he really ain't, on that front, he ain't really no better than her. So at that point, it's just up to them what they want to do. They want to be together or not. But the moral of the story is, I think she really did do something. Like I said, I don't know if it got to a sexual level, but I think Steve Harvey is trying to save face and she's trying to help him save face because of all the relationship stuff that he been preaching and that his brand is built upon now. And for him to take another divorce, it'd be like, they're really gonna see he full of shit. I think they're just trying to save face right about now. That's what I think is going on.
How much is Steve Harvey worth? 200, 300, 400 million, something like that?
I had to look that up and see.
It's taking it divided by half.
You think that's what she's gonna come into?
Something like that.
Now this can't be right. Let me see here.
Last time I checked, he worth 400 million or something. He been making good investments.
Honestly, that's why Stevie had net worth in 2023. This thing say 200 million, man.
So she gonna get 100 million, and she gonna mess with the bodyguard and the chef.
I mean, according to this,
walk away with 100.
Google search. But I think that's what they're trying to prevent. Not just the money thing, but I'm talking about just a split in general. So,
I don't wish nobody bad as far as your relationship, man. But once you get on that level, man, it's gonna be hard not to.
Not to what? Not to cheat?
No, not even that. But like the type women you dealing with on that level, they trying to do what they got to do to get where they trying to go. That's all I say.
Yeah, that's why I think it could be hard to do, right? If you had a woman that's with you before all that kind of stuff happened.
That's different.
Yeah, kind of like, I guess, Snoop Dogg wife, even though he done some dirt, she stuck by him, but the wife he got now being with him when he was in the street.
Right. That's different.
Yeah. So she know she know the broke Snoop Dogg. They still together.
Yes.
But yeah, when you come into, whether you a man or a woman, when you come into money, dating the opposite sex, you got to be careful, Harvey, because you don't know what's going on.
Oh, it goes both ways. It goes both ways.
Yeah, unless both y'all at the same, I guess, economical level, maybe that you can kind of, look at things different then.
Right.
Maybe.
Man.
Mm-hmm.
But you put out a whole book running your mouth, but your house ain't kept.
Yeah. And, when that book came out, you had a lot of guys who was coming out, saying that, Steve Harvey is basically a big old hypocrite.
I mean, name outside of TD Jakes, name one relationship guru, male or female, who house is in order. And his house probably ain't in order because we know what TD Jakes' daughter did and what her baby father did.
Hold on. I'm not familiar with that.
I'm about to say the same thing because I don't follow TD Snakes.
Yeah, TD Snakes, exactly.
That's a new story. We don't know nothing about that.
Well, TD Jakes' daughter, I think it's Cora, not the one that's not Sarah who's preaching now, but Cora, was married to a man and they adopted children. Apparently, one of the boys that she adopted, she stole because the mom's all over YouTube saying she stole my son, and she tricked me. But she ended up signing custody so that they had, and then come to find out, Cora had to divorce the husband because he was molesting the children that they adopted.
Oh wow.
Yeah, maybe we can do that one on the next show.
That's a later video. Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't. But I mean, name one relationship guru who it's all about money. You say what I want to hear, I'm gonna buy it.
Exactly.
That's a good question. I don't know if any relationship guru that something that came out that wasn't good or whatever. You know what I'm trying to say.
What about Kevin Samuels?
I mean, he died with a fat girl. So no, who else?
What's wrong with a fat girl?
He said something was wrong with fat girls, not me.
Let me tell you,
his whole preaching was that she had to look a certain way and be a certain way. That's not who he was on top of when he died.
What was it?
And Kevin Samuels had plenty of divorces too himself.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know.
And then if you go back and listen to some of his earlier stuff, it was pro woman, it was pro all this stuff. It was like I don't know, what's the guy that just got busted and him and his wife doing all them, I can't think of his name, but Kevin Samuels was like that. Jackson.
Yeah. I know you're talking about Derek Jackson.
Derek Jackson. Kevin Samuels was a Derek Jackson in the beginning. It didn't take off until he started bashing women. And that's where he started making millions. But that's not who he died on top of. He died on top of a fat girl.
Oh man.
Yeah, he that black women hating niche, and it kind of took off because I guess regardless of what he was saying, his presentation was on point. I give him that. He had the whole lights and all that. I ain't talking about him as a person presentation, but the way he revamped his YouTube channel, I guess, and it kind of took off.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was just talking about cologne and gator shoes and stuff like that too.
Yeah. It started off as men's fashion.
Yeah. But I think most of the women, I don't think Kevin Samuels, in the relationships he had, I know it's kind of going off topic a little bit, I don't think he left none of the women. I think all the women left him. They realized that they realized that he looked in the mirror more than them, and that he was just too feminine-esque. He might have made money and all that kind of stuff, but probably didn't even know how to change a tire.
Oh, so, that was a bougie man. He don't change no doggone tire.
That's what I'm saying. He was what he was. I ain't gonna sit here and go in on the man because I know he passed away, but whatever that was, he was. That's what he was. Yeah. But I guess Cutie, if he was still going at that show, you would you attempt to call him and would you let him evaluate?
I never even watched. I am not one of those women who need to get on a show with a man who is breaking down people with hopes that I might be the one to break through the crack and he does not break me down and tear me apart. That's a different type of pick-me, low self-esteem type of woman. I am not her. I never even watched one episode of his show.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, yeah, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I don't watch things that irritate me. If it disturbs my spirit, I'm not gonna indulge in it. For what?
So, you think Kendra G is not exactly like his show?
I don't watch her either. I don't watch any of those shows. No.
Kendra G.
Yeah, I don't really look at Kendra G either, but sometimes some stuff pop up. You know, people take clips and put them all different social media sites.
That's the only thing I see are those clips.
Yeah,
and they are the most outrageous. It's nonsense. I mean, I don't know. It's a buyer. I'm just not the buyer, but it's a buyer for everything.
Right.
It's women on there with 7, 8 kids trying to find them a Prince Charming. I mean, what's wrong with that?
And men too. Men too. There's some men up there too.
It's the men
with
too,
hella kids, felony charges for days, unemployed. You know, he might work on cars on the side.
Yeah. So I guess that's the only thing.
I can't watch that stuff.
That's I guess would be different from her and Canvas James, that she let men and women up there, just whoever. I give her that, but
yeah, I'm just out here winging it on my own in this dating world like everybody else. I'm not reading no guru books. I'm not taking none of that advice. I can fail on my own.
Yeah. I mean, because nobody can tell you when you interact with somebody that's in front of your face, ain't none of that stuff gonna matter. You got to do what you do and be yourself. Because I mean, you could take little tips and pointers about, I guess, say if somebody tell you, you know, you go on a date with a man and he tell you, I left my wallet. Can you date me? Okay, that might be a red flag. So you can take advice like that. But as far as, you know, how you gonna really interact with a person, it's gonna be you and that person at the end of the day.
I'm happy to read things on improving myself. I'm happy to listen to things about improving me and making me stronger and better. I'm okay with that. But I feel like no one can tell me how to be in a relationship, because you don't know who you're gonna be in that relationship. Different people bring different things out of you. They trigger certain things in you. They bring a different type of love out of you and caring. So it takes two people to create whatever it's going to create. We don't know what it's going to be until we come together and feel each other's energy and be with each other and date each other. Then we know what our relationship is going to be, but you can't plan it. You don't know. I mean, if you look at all your relationships that you've been with, the core of who you are might have been this, you know, what it is, but the relationships are different because it's not the same woman.
Right.
And that's why, like, if I'm going into something and somebody's asking me, well, what am I looking for and what do I want? I say, well, I don't know what we're going to be. Like, we have to talk. We have to feel each other out and see what the energy is when we're around each other. Do you trigger anything in me? Do I trigger anything in you? And then as the days go on, we'll determine and establish what that relationship is going to be. But we don't know until we come together. Because what I am to you, I might not have been that. You know, maybe you bring some greatness out of me. Maybe you traumatize the fuck out of me and I'm irritated all the time. Like, we don't know.
But keep it real. You know what the end goal that you would like to see if you start to take somebody serious. Not if you just dating. I understand you just going with the flow. But if you dating somebody serious, you know you might. The end of this, you want to be happily ever after, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what. But what does our happily ever after look like? Because
it don't matter.
Right, whatever it is, but that's what I'm trying to say. Like, we don't know until we come together with that. But ultimately, the goal is that this is going to work out. We're going to be together and live happily ever after. We just don't know what that looks like, because your relationship with this woman might be monogamous and this or that, but maybe you meet another woman and what works for y'all might not be that. But that's okay, because that's what works for y'all. That's what I'm saying. But ultimately, the goal is for us to come together. I like you, you like me. We're interested to see where this can go. But we don't know I'm not going to be boxed in. I'm not going to say this is what our relationship is supposed to look like because society says so. So we're going to walk this straight path and we're not going to step outside the lines at all. Because maybe the man I'm with will require me to step out of line. And maybe him being with me is going to, it's not going to be a box. It's not going to be what society says it's supposed to be, because that does not work.
No, you got to do your own thing. However,
got to do your own thing.
Best for you and your partner or mate or whatever.
Exactly.
Right. All right. Well, I appreciate the input on that. Ronald, you got anything to say about that? You relationship. I mean, dude, you got anything to say about that? You relationship guru?
Definitely not no relationship guru. I was just kind of more of a listener on this show. You know.
Okay.
Good show. Yeah. A lot of input. Good input.
Yeah, well, I agree with some of that stuff that Cutie's been saying. And yeah, I think you just gotta take it as it comes and see what you're gonna be and see if you know, good together. But sometimes I think people get caught up and they say they get tired of folks, and they get to this grass may be green on the other side thing, and from what I found, grass is most of the time, it's sometimes green, but most of the time it's not going to be greener.
No.
I don't know, maybe just me just speaking from a man, but maybe from a woman it could be different. You ever dated somebody and say, you know what, I'm tired of this food or something better? I know maybe this is a younger thing that people go through when they're younger. Have you left somebody just because you think it's somebody better than the person you leaving?
Me personally, it's hard. I mean, it's not easy for me just to leave somebody, because if we made it that far, it's for a reason. So if you're not cheating on me or beating on me or nothing, I mean, none of the major deal breakers, right?
Right.
I feel like we can work it out and we can figure it out, because I picked you for a reason. We don't pick people with, common sense who really want something for the future. You don't just pick anybody. So obviously, if you made it to that point, you saw something in that person and you could see a future with them. So no, I've never been in a position where I wanted to leave a man to be with another man. And maybe I wanted to leave that man because that relationship wasn't good for me. But I've never had backup plans, if that makes sense. So
I got you.
That's just me. I don't have a man on standby just in case this one don't work out, because if I got one on standby, then me and you wasn't there anyway. So,
well, it wouldn't be really standby. You just might have the thought is, now, like I said, if he beating on you and cheating on you, that's totally understandable.
Right.
But you might not have somebody on standby. But you might feel like, well, I made a decision. This fool here ain't nothing. It's something else better for me out there. So I don't have no backup. But I'm just gonna get rid of them.
Yeah, I've definitely said this can't be it for me. This can't be my life. I'm going to leave this situation because I know there is somebody else out there who's a better fit for me. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I've done that. But when I leave you, I don't have anybody else. I'm back to the drawing board.
Correct. Deuce, you have some insight?
I'm just listening.
Okay.
Deuce ain't touching the relationship stuff.
No, y'all got me on that.
Yeah, but I never left.
That's how I feel about politics.
Okay.
Oh yeah. He can go all day on that.
Yeah, I'm not savvy. I'm not up to. I couldn't even begin where to start with it. I don't know.
Yeah, but I appreciate you. The mother lives we had, we went into that. You stopping by and dropping something in the chat, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, I tried to hang, but y'all, that stuff was going over my head. It's just not my thing. I mean, we not expert on everything, all things. That's politics is just not my thing.
No, I understand. I'm not an expert either. I can dibble dabble, but I'm not. I don't tune in every day to see what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
now, if you want to talk about relationships, I'm for all that. Yeah,
okay.
I got it.
Okay. and C class people that's watching, that's what I'm saying. I'm not want to be sexist, but this is why Steve Harvey makes millions, because women like to talk about relationships. He can write in there and say King Prince Charming is gonna be coming down the road if you do this. Women, if you bark like a dog and jump on one leg like Coming to America, he could put that in that book, and hey, people gonna eat it up because women love to talk about relationships. Now. I'm not saying that men don't, but men kind of like they hear like, whatever. I think that the clocks are different. Women and men, the clocks are different. Men might have a clock like, okay, I need to obtain this job, position, money, or whatever. I want to be here in my life and do this, maybe get this car or whatever like that. When if he get married and have a family and all that, he might have that in his head, but it's not gonna be in his head like a woman where some women might feel like they never have kids or get married, like something like it's some kind of black hole. Am I wrong for saying that, or something?
The thing that I say this all the time. Men feel like they have all the time in the world, and women feel like they're running out of time. So we are definitely on different clocks.
Right. Right, and I think that clock can be exploited, and that's what Steve Harvey has done.
I agree with that.
There you go. There you go. So I appreciate y'all coming tonight, and I know the week's about to start, so I ain't gonna hold everybody too late. Anybody got any final comments, anything they want to get in before we shut it down?
No, not me. I think I talked to death.
Oh, we appreciate you. Hey, I don't care. People can come on here and talk for 2 hours if they want.
I know, that's why I like this show. I can you can get a little long-winded and you can be quiet and listen sometimes. If you ain't, if you don't know what's going on, you just be quiet and listen.
Yeah, and we gotta get you on maybe some relationship stuff, but I think if we get you on the panel the same time we get what's the other fella Deuce that came up here that go on and on? What? Charlie Roger, what was his name?
Bug dancing, Bojangling. I love him to death. 46 and 38.
What are you talking about? I'm talking about the fella that was on the panel with us before.
Oh, you talking about old boy?
Yeah. He got some good commentary as long as you stay on subject.
Yeah, that's my boy, but he's more of a historical savant. He can pull up, facts from the 50s, 60s, 70s, all up to now.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he ain't gonna talk to me about no relationships from the 50s. Like me and him he's gonna irritate my spirit with that. I can tell you right now.
It's a little different subject.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry he missed Steve Harvey show. I know he said he wanted to jump on Steve Harvey behind, but maybe we catch him on Steve Harvey thing another time.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I appreciate everybody coming up, and if you're in the chat or if you're watching, comment, like, subscribe, and we gonna catch everybody on the next one. Peace, Cutie Deuce. Like I say, any shout outs? Y'all good?
I'm good.
I'm good. Bye. Have a good week, y'all.
All right, you too. Appreciate it. Don't forget, like I said, comment, like, subscribe. We're gonna be back with more. This is a wrap. Steve Harvey the Crook and brother Polight wasn't so polite to them kids. So he's behind bars and Steve Harvey wife cheating on him. Comment, like, subscribe for more commentary.